is very deep. Lot of things we don't know, and yet we know. We think we know, and that's where it's really hurting us. And this is very dangerous. But everything that is beautiful, that is pure, and that is spiritual, we have covered up with the fake knowledge. Knowledge of this and knowledge of that and knowledge of this and knowledge of that. We have covered up layers and layers and layers and layers of, and we have literally smothered the beautiful divine spirituality that can exist, and it does exist, but the flame is getting fainter and fainter and fainter, and we're losing our touch. We have to keep that flame alive, and we have to bring it out. The problem is the disease of knowledge has affected everybody. And everybody thinks that they know. And everybody is suffering for one disease or the other. In whatever field they are in, they think they know everything. And the knowledge is a disease that has gripped the minds of people. In fact, it is difficult to find disease-free people nowadays. So that's why we said soon we're going to have asylums for people like Buddha, so they can be protected from the rest of the world instead of mental asylums, because it's so widespread and there is a big crowd. You doing some ritual, and then other people are doing the same thing, 10,000 people. So you're getting justifications right there. How can you be wrong? You ask yourself, how can I be wrong when everybody's doing it? So
everybody's drinking it and you're not drinking
What's that?
it. Everybody's drinking it and you're
Same
not drinking
thing.
it. You are
or
weird.
bowing down to statue without knowing what you're doing. The bowing down has to start from deep, deep, deep within and then manifest outside.
Correct.
But starting just from body level and going forward has no value. It's like a tree without roots. What is the value? Come little wind and falls off. Come another religion comes and tells you, oh, this is not good, so you switch religions. And simple, right? We talked about that in the remote village of India, how one Christian missionary was trying to convert people, right? So the one Hindu priest went there, and he saw what crazy things he was doing. So what he did was, he made the statue of Christ and a statue of Ram, and put them, and the statue of Ram was metal, and statue of Christ was wooden. And these are like Adivasis people, right? So they don't know. So he would put them, both the statues, in water, and Christ will float, and Ram will just go down. He says, what kind of God do you have? Your God cannot even swim. How is he going to save your lives? That makes sense. So that's how he was using technique to convert. So now Hindu priest goes there, and he knew what was going on. So he held got all the people again. He says, forget about water. Let's test the statues with fire. After all, Sita also had to go through the Agni Pariksha. So let's see what... So obviously Ram survived. And Christ, of course, perished. So what kind of silly things we're doing in the name of religions? Well, really, this has no value. And that's why you get swept away very easily if you don't have deep roots of understanding of what a religion is. So this is the problem with so-called knowledge. It's the superficial.
Yeah,
the superficial knowledge has no value.
No value.
You would rather not believe in anything.
Yeah.
Atheist is better.
Yeah.
Gnostic is better. That at least he doesn't believe in anything. Yeah. He's open. At least he's open. But belief in something that is totally superficial and totally useless is even more worse. Right? So they all, Jainism, Buddhism, all the religions are poisoned with this kind of wrong thinking. It's not that they mean bad, but they just don't know. They never pay attention to the awareness of the spiritual existence. If they themselves didn't do it, how can they teach us, right? So people get...
One of the person is saying that we kept the rituals and philosophy. We lost the value of the
Of course.
religion. And it's everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Yeah. The disease is everywhere. Jainism is a disease. Buddhism is a disease. Christianity is a disease. So-called religions are all a disease. And we have to get rid of the disease first before we can realize what a health can be. Right? You define health. What is health? You define health. You cannot define health. When there is no disease, person is healthy. The only real definition of health is in Sanskrit, is swasthya. Person who swama jes sthir thai, one who gets established in self, is swasthya. That's a really beautiful definition. For the first time you realize that real health is within us. So outside is all disease. So we walk around with our textbooks. Once you go into the knowledge of such and such Tirthankar said such and such this, and at such and such page and such slok says this and that and all that. We walk around with books. We die with books, but does not do any good. But we never realize Paramatma. And that's our birthright. So there was a story on the Chinese town that we talked about. So there was a big fair going on. So there were a lot of people gathered, thousands of people. And there was a well at the end of the fair. And one guy and the well was not covered up. So the guy didn't notice, and he stumbled into the well. Now he has no way of getting out. So he keeps on shouting and shouting and shouting, and nobody is paying attention to him. So he says, how am I going to get out? So he's shouting, and so all of a sudden one Buddhist monk passed by. So the Buddhist monk hears that somebody is shouting, and he looks. So, oh my God, the guy has fallen. So he asks him, so what do you want? He says, take me out. He says, listen guy, it was your karma that brought you here. You must have done bad karmas in the past, so that's the reason why you fell. Now, why do you want to come back to life? This life is nothing but tragedy. You want to escape from life. That's the only way you can go to moksha. So it's better, I don't want to interfere with your karma. And he walked away. So, so now the guy is shouting again. So it happens to be another Confucius monk passes by. Now the Confucians had a theory of changing revolutionizing all these civilizations and how the governments should operate. And the Confucius was a very great thinker. And he had a great theories, and then he wanted to apply in the politics for the benefit of the people. So Confucian people want to really change the country, right? So a Confucius monk is passing by. He looks at the guy, and he says, what do you want? He says, well, take me out. I'm here, and I'm going to die otherwise. He says, wait, how did that happen? He said, well, because there was no cover on the well. Ah, that's where the problem is. All right, just give me a moment. I'm going to announce that all the wells in the country should be covered up. He says, yeah, I understand that, but take me out first. He says, no, I'm too busy. I have to take care of this thing first. And so that I have to make sure that in the future your children don't fall into the well. He says, yeah, I understand, but forget about my children. Take me out. He says, no. What is more important? Even if you die, it will actually be better. Then it will become a more headline news. So that something will be done. Then only governments will wake up. This is how the government should operate. So the Confucian monk walks away. So then comes a Christian guy. So a Christian guy looks at it. Oh my God, the guy fell. He jumps into the well and immediately takes him out, and he helps him out through the rope and whatever. So he's out, and he says, oh, thank you very much. What kind of monk? Oh, I am a Christian. Oh, that's a great religion. Maybe I should convert into that. It looks like you are a really good monks here. And the Christian monks, so they really did a great job. You have compassion for. He says, wait. I didn't do it for that. In Christianity, they said, whenever you help a needy person, your position in the heaven is fixed. And that's the whole purpose I did it. In fact, we hope that more and more people fall, so we can help more people, and our position in the heaven is secured. In fact, go home and tell your neighbors to come and fall into the well, so we all will get more monks and we all go to heaven. Stupidities. In the name of religion, we have stupidities. And we walk around, we think that by doing this, we're going to have our place in the heaven is secured and this and that. Real religion has nothing to do with all this. So that's where the problem is. So we get buried under the layers of knowledge. which has no value. So when the layers of knowledge is there, we lose our innocence and we lose the capacity to say to someone that I don't know. To our children, I don't know. I can easily say that. That puts me at the same footing with the child. And then innocence returns. And that is the first step to reach to the state where you can say that I don't know, but I have experienced it. You can go to the state of bliss, you can go into the state of samadhi, and then your conversation with God starts. Thank you so much for today.
All right, that's good.